The indefinite strike declared by members of the Upper West Regional Bread Bakers Association on Wednesday, February 9, has been called off. Members were on strike because they complained that it is difficult to continue baking due to the high cost of flour, sugar and other ingredients for their work. We spoke to the Upper West Regional correspondent Swala Abdul Wahab in an earlier interview.
What they have agreed on is that they are going to increase the price of their products. So, for instance, tea bread that used to sell at 3 cedis will now be sold at 4 cedis. And the butter bread for 4 cedis will now go up to 6 cedis. And then same butter bread for 6 cedis will now go for 8 cedis. But what is interesting is that last year there was an increase in the price of bread in the region. Yeah. So the bread which is now selling at 3 cedis, last year was 2 cedis. And now they say that that same bread will be sold at 4 cedis. And what they have also said is that a committee has been constituted to ensure that consumers get quality products, which is one of the reasons they embarked on the strike. Instead, because the prices of the products are high, they are unable to ensure quality, and by so doing, they compromise the product they provide to the customers. So one of the ways to address this quality issue is to increase the price of the product so that they can ensure that they are able to produce quality bread for the people of Upper West region.
You're still watching News Live on GBC News. Every cloud has a silver lining is an idiom which assures of better days ahead, and the grim famine in 1983 in Ghana turned out to be a blessing in disguise for the Ayiku Kansas, who took the opportunity to feed the starving populace at a time with Kenki and fish. From 1 bowl to about 400 and now 500 bowls produced a day, the business has metamorphosed into a modern venture incorporating technology to suit the times. GBC News shares the story of the famous Kenki house at Sakiado Adabaka on today's edition of My Story. Meet the 3 sisters managing the Kenki house business at Sakiado, not the original business though, but had to step in when their mother, the brainchild of the business, passed away. Aged 62, 59 and 56, the 3 have held the fort and kept the family business afloat without any storms or breakaway for about 2 decades. Work begins at 5 a.m. for all, from Monday to Saturday. The first phase of the Kenki production begins with the grinding of the corn or maize into a flour-like texture before it is semi-cooked on fire by stirring continuously into what is known as a flatter or cooked dough. The flatter is later needed to get rid of any lumps. Additionally, part of the raw dough is mixed with the flatter to get a fine texture. While at that, others carefully select the corn husk, which has previously been soaked briefly in water, to make it pliable. The flatter is molded into sizable preferred balls according to its price. It is then encased or wrapped in the corn husk, then cooked for some hours.
It takes about 3 or 3.5 hours, depending on the maize. Sometimes some of the maize, they are hard, and so it will take some time. Sometimes too, it doesn't take time. 3 hours, it's ready.
The Kenki is served with pepper, fish and shito. However, there are additions like gravy, okra stew with gizzard, sausage, egg, turkey tail or chofi, or to suit the customer's palate for satisfaction and retention. I part on the division of labor.
ewa ke ona me onyon fe ona ene involvement mo 3 4 5 kakai bia ne no keke wo bota sika me be why not touch 3 4 hours no bokomi.
My concern is the health implication on their lives, working especially with fire for hours on end. Turned into a family business now, and with the intention of the 3 sisters retiring from the business soon, the 3rd generation of Madame Awo has come on board to keep the family dream alive. Their inclusion has brought modern techniques and strategies like registering of the company and advertising on social media platforms for customers to enjoy their Kenki in the comfort of your office or home without going through the Accra and Salam down traffic hassle.
There should be more protective stuff for the workers working. So headgears, something to hold their hands when they are touching fire, oil and all of that.
So what are the future plans of Kenki Arena?
More growth.
The sisters here share with me how they have maintained the bond and business to it.
Ni wo hani anupale ahi wote
ni na no tumo enfe no fiano ni wo ke o mami nchuni asanu o mo mi ale koni anya achu koni eyan bona.
It may be nothing to you, but remember the efforts of similar eateries like these 3 sisters in putting food on the table of Ghanaians was turning the tide of hunger for about 3 decades, and say thank you to them. They say, if you enjoy your meal, then thank the chef. For GBC News, Clara Mlanu reporting. To chocolate cities at the Tekwashi roundabout in Accra and the Rattray Park in Kumasi to bring all chocolatiers and processors together to showcase their chocolate and cocoa products. The move is part of efforts to promote the domestic consumption of Ghana chocolate and other cocoa-based products. The chocolate city in Accra is situated in front of the Accra Mall and open to the public throughout the week.
The Chocolate City project is to encourage the consumption of chocolate by Ghanaians, stay healthy and grow Ghana. The Chocolate City, situated in front of the Accra Mall, is open for all to take advantage of the cocoa products that will be on display for purchase, especially chocolate. In marking the week in grand style, Cocoa Board says after purchasing the cocoa products, consumers will be offered free gifts and treated to live band performances at the Chocolate City. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. Kwesi Ajiman, noted that chocolate tourism needs to be promoted in Ghana.
I believe it is our duty to make the Tetekwashi Cocoa Farm one of the most visited tourist attractions in this country.
The Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Mr. Joseph Boahin Edu, encouraged the public to at least purchase some cocoa products this week for their loved ones.
Cocoa has anti-aging properties. So the more cocoa you take, the younger you look. This city is a city of wealth, health, and happiness. These are what make up cocoa. So the city can best be described as everything cocoa.
Mr. Boahin Edu announced that another chocolate city has been situated at Kumasi in the Ashanti region to promote chocolate products. As the National Chocolate Day approaches, Cocoa Board is calling on the general public to visit the chocolate city and purchase chocolate and other cocoa-based products in order to make Ghana the center for cocoa. For GBC News, Yaira Lawe reporting.
Awake Purified Drinking Water, a subsidiary of the Casapreco Company, has donated 150,000 cedis to the Cardiothoracic Center of the Kulibu Teaching Hospital in Accra. The package was presented by the brand manager, Mrs. Linda Amate, and a gospel musician and brand ambassador, Dinah Hamilton.
Its charity-driven project, One for Life, Awake Purified Drinking Water has over the years donated to the Cardiothoracic Center of the Kulibu Teaching Hospital. With the project, 1 peswa is deducted from every 500 milliliters of Awake bottled water sold every quarter. An accumulation of that to the tune of 75,000 cedis is donated to the Cardio Center to support patients with heart diseases and heart-related conditions who cannot afford the cost of surgery. The brand manager of Awake Purified Water, Mrs. Linda Amate, expressed gratitude to the public for purchasing the brand of water to support and keep the initiative running. The donation was warmly received by the director of the National Cardiothoracic Center, Dr. Lawrence Ajimantirebo. He expressed his profound gratitude to the company for supporting especially newborn babies with hole-in-heart conditions to undergo surgeries. He encouraged members of the public to live a healthy lifestyle and go for regular medical checkups. A gospel artist and a brand ambassador for Awake Purified Water, Dinah Hamilton, led the distribution of the Awake Purified Water to patients in the Cardio Center. She gave the patients words of encouragement.
Of the essence of my praise.
The new building is inaugurated, a first of the pre-burial service of the late former aviation minister, Mr. Kofi Adda, has taken place in Accra. The president, Akufo-Addo, described him as a man of diligence and forthrightness. We'll bring you videos of that story in our subsequent bulletins. We take a break. We are back with more news. Please stay.
Hello, this is Business brought to you by Quick Credit and MTN. My name is Esther Edu Ohumeu. The World Bank says African countries will have to expand and diversify their participation in global trade if they are to significantly reduce poverty and transform their economies. In its latest report, the bank urged the continent to re-examine its trade with traditional partners, explore new market frontiers, and deepen regional integration.
The World Bank forecast growth in sub-Saharan Africa to firm slightly to 3.6% in 2022 and 3.8% in 2023. However, the bank anticipates rapid economic growth and massive poverty reduction once challenges stifling growth are effectively addressed. The impediments include continuous trade in raw materials, weak regional infrastructure, weak macroeconomic frameworks, and scattered trade agreements. The latest World Bank book, titled Africa in the New Trade Environment, Market Access in Troubled Times, seeks to guide policymakers on boosting growth across the continent. The report urges African countries to invest in value addition, develop unilateral trade deals with global partners, and strengthen regional value chains, which are key to export diversification. The bank said the continent's ambitious free trade deal will require trade-enabling infrastructure and a strong political will to thrive.
We need policymakers in Africa to really think beyond those traditional partners and focus on the fastest growing market, and we need to all support full implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
The Trade and Industry Minister, Mr. Alan Chermanting, said Africa requires a new industrialization policy to help increase the continent's share of global trade.
We have what it takes to become the most powerful regional bloc globally. And yet, with all these resources, we control only 3% of global trade. And so part of the reason why we only control 3% of global trade is that there's nothing happening around on the continent in terms of adding value, in terms of production, and in terms of productivity.
The African Free Continental Trade Area is expected to become the world's largest free trade area by connecting more than 1.2 billion people across 54 African countries. The agreement aims to create a single market for goods and services in order to deepen Africa's economic integration.
The Ghana card can now be used as an e-passport in 195 countries and 44,000 airports across the world. This feat has been made possible due to the acceptance of the Ghana card globally as an electronic passport that can be read and verified in all international civil aviation organization compliant borders. Ghana was officially presented with a certificate to make the Ghana card an e-passport, which is to be accepted at 44,000 airports and 195 countries across the globe at a ceremony held by the International Civil Aviation Organization in Montreal, Canada. By this, the Ghana card will be accepted as an e-passport due to its unique biometric identification. Holders of the Ghana card will be allowed to board any flight to Ghana by just showing the card without any visa requirement. Ghana was officially accepted on October 13, 2021 as the 79th member of the ICAO's Public Key Directory community. The ICAO Public Key Directory is a central repository for exchanging the information required to authenticate e-passports. Officials of the National Identification Authority, NIA, have said with the key ceremony in Montreal over, the Ghana card can now be verified internationally and border control authorities will be able to confirm in less than 10 seconds that a Ghanaian biometric e-passport or booklet as well as the Ghana card e-passport were issued by the right authority and have not been altered and also are not copied or cloned documents. The card contains the biometric information of the holder with a cryptographic digital signature stored on a chip that can be used to authenticate the identity of travelers. Let's go to the Forex and Commodity Board.
You are welcome to the energy segment. My name is Mabel Anna. In Ghana's regions of the north, smuggling of fuel to neighboring Burkina Faso is becoming pervasive, and many are calling for the situation to be controlled before it gets out of hand. Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali added his voice to the urgent call to help curb the practice when the Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority (NPA), Dr. Mustafa Hamid, called on him as part of NPA's working tour of the region. The NPA Chief Executive's familiarization visit to the region was also an opportunity to interact with players and institutions in the petroleum industry. He also got to learn of the challenges confronting the key actors and how to address them. The regional minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, said smuggling of fuel, just like agricultural inputs to neighboring countries, is unpatriotic. He affirmed the commitment of the Regional Security Council to collaborate with the NPA to curb the practice.
I want to assure you that as chairman of the Regional Security Council, we will liaise with you so as to be able to put this issue to an end. Also, people have been complaining about the quality of fuel in the region. I believe strongly that most of the fuel operators adulterate their fuel. So I want your people in charge of quality assurance to up their game.
The National Petroleum Authority boss, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, said the mandate of the authority is crucial as it makes sure that petroleum products produced in the country meet the required standards.
Our purpose, according to law, is to ensure that, first of all, Ghanaians get petroleum products everywhere they are. Our purpose is also to ensure that Ghanaians buy the petroleum product at the same price no matter where they are. Now, I am sure you know that there are certain products that are more expensive the further away you go from Accra. But with petrol, diesel, and all of the petroleum products, the prices are the same everywhere in the country. It is part of the work that we do in ensuring that that situation is like that across the country.
Dr. Hamid also called on the overlord of the Wala traditional area, Nafusheni Seidu Pelpu, the regional police commander, ACP Peter Indekugri, and interacted with officials of NPA in the region. Ghana has saved about $13.2 billion in renegotiating power purchase agreements with 6 different independent power producers, IPPs. The Ministry of Finance, as part of its efforts to assure investors and boost confidence in the fiscal management of the economy, said proactive management of the energy sector is yielding results, given that the average cost of the generation has declined, resulting in an estimated savings of $13.2 billion. This was contained in the Finance Ministry's latest investor call update. According to the ministry, owning Sonding Asogli Power is excluded from the list of 6 IPPs, given the take-or-pay structure arrangement as against capacity charges, hence no negotiation with the company. Ghana's overall hydrothermal and solar generation was 67.7005 gigawatt hours in the last 24 hours. Benin, Togo and Burkina Faso received 6.5881 gigawatt hours of power from Ghana in the last 24 hours. Here are some more details. For hydro energy generated in the past 24 hours, Akosombo recorded 17.9450 gigawatt hours, Bong 2.7440 gigawatt hours, and Bui 2.4923 gigawatt hours. Here's what functional thermal producers contributed to the generation mix within the period. The 3 hydro power plants produced 23.1813 gigawatt hours. Operational thermal power plants contributed 44.2546 gigawatt hours, and total solar generation was 0.2646 gigawatt hours.
total power generation was 67.7005 gigawatt hours in the last 24 hours. For hydrology, the water level in the Akosombo Lake was 81. This is how we wrap up on the energy segment. My name is Mabel Anna. There is more news to come.
Joe, where are you? Timmy, where is Daddy?
I don't know.
Joe! Please, have you seen my husband?
No, please.
Hey, Tiraga, Ushifia.
Sir. Joe, is that how you are? Timmy and myself, we've been looking everywhere for you.
It's malaria. I tested positive.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's malaria. He needs Atenate.
Atenate is an anti-malarial that comes in small tablets for adults and flavored suspension for children.
I will give it to my husband myself.
Let her take care of me.
I'll take care of you.
Thank you. Okay.
It's okay, baby. Don't worry, okay? Daddy is not going anywhere again.
Atenate, your ultimate quality ACT anti-malarial, is available in the pharmacy and over-the-counter medicine shop near you. Test for malaria before treatment. If symptoms persist after 3 days of treatment, please consult your doctor. Atenate, see malaria quine. This advert is FDA approved.
High sense fridge, display fridge, and a chest freezer. Energy efficient. Just say, I do power bank. Everybody can test. One to high sense fridge and what can that? Your division will be a ball by ting. High sense, your fridge size any model, baby. Your water dispenser, your ice maker, Nina, you will be. Yes, I want better fridge. What the idea shall make freezing we are. None word do. A little power. Can give up high sense. One him that. Madam High Sense. But it is one of say who? Can give up high sense. I 28 February. I come him 8 March. Come High Sense showroom. Yeah. Not quite Jody. High Sense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
All SIM cards in Ghana must be registered again with only the Ghana card. Yes, only the Ghana card.
You will not be able to make voice calls, use mobile money services, internet, and all other services linked to your SIM card if you don't.
To register, dial *404# and follow the prompts. You will be required to send the following details on your Ghana card: Ghana card number, surname, first name, date of birth, and sex.
You will then receive a special code which you will present to your nearest service provider agent or customer care center for your biometric details to be captured. Remember to add your digital address.
Dial *404# on your phone to start registering your SIM card today.
For more information, contact your service provider on 100 or the National Communications Authority on toll-free number 0800 110622. Register your SIM card to stay connected.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco. Research in mental health show that 1 in 6 children and young people have diagnosable mental health challenges. The second week of February each year is dedicated to mental health care for children. It is to raise awareness on some of the triggers, the mental health concerns of children. This year's Children Mental Health Week is marked under the theme Growing Together. The head of Child Psychiatry Unit of the Continental Teaching Hospital, Dr. Peledu Nyako, throws more light on the various mental health conditions.
The most common mental health disorders we see in our clinic include conditions like attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and classically these are children who have a very limited attention span and very limited ability to concentrate, and that spreads over to affect their behavior and their conduct, their capacity to learn as a whole. Then the next most common condition is autism spectrum disorder, That also is a neurodevelopmental disorder which also affects children's development. These children typically will be seen to be self-isolating. They will be seen to be not capable of communicating or expressing their needs like other normal children. We see children with epilepsy or seizure disorder. We see children with learning disabilities. Don't label the child as a difficult child. If you are developing appropriately, then there's an age bracket within which you begin to follow instructions. From the age of about 8 months, the child is capable of remembering something. So when you begin to set boundaries for the child within the age group they are in are able to comply to those rules. So if you see persistently that your child is not able to remember the lessons you are teaching the child, and therefore appears to come off as a difficult child, a demanding child, the labels we give a lot, a disobedient child, then for me that is the cue for you to come for us to assess that child. Sometimes the children are having problems hearing. Sometimes they are having problems communicating because they either have a neurodevelopmental disorder.
Health News is brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco.